When people mention monsters in the world of Demon Slayer, the first things we imagine are demons, whether the lower moon like Enmu or Rui, or upper moon such as Akaza and Kokushibo, or even the Demon King himself, Kibutsuji Muzan. But did you know that there is one character whom even Muzan himself acknowledged as the true monster, someone he feared more than anything? Someone so terrifying that he went into hiding for decades, even centuries, out of sheer dread? A fear so deep that it was passed down to his demons as though it were part of their DNA. That character did not have regenerating powers like a demon, nor he can shape-shifting his body at will. He was, in fact, a normal human being who lived during the Sengoku era, 500 years before the main events of Demon Slayer. Ironically, despite Muzan calling him a monster, he was one of the kindest, respectful, and humble characters. His name was Yoriichi Tsugikuni, the creator of sun breathing and the progenitor of breathing styles. He was also the original owner of the earrings that Tanjiro Kamada wears. And here's why he truly is the one above all. 500 years ago, in the Sengoku era, twin boys were born in a samurai clan. At that time, twin births were considered bad omens. To make things worse, one of the twins was born with a strange mark on his forehead. Their father decided to kill the marked child, but their mother intervened in a rage. That child was Yoriichi. His family agreed that at the age of 10, Yoriichi would be sent to a temple to become a monk. From that moment, Yoriichi grew up very differently from his brother, being given much poorer food, education, and confined to a small 3-tatami room away from the rest of the house. What no one realized was that the mark on his forehead was the Demon Slayer mark, a gift blessed to him that grants immense power at the price of cutting one's life short before they turn 25. However, that limitation did not apply for him. For 7 years, Yoriichi did not utter a single word, so people believed he was deaf. He stuck close to his mother wherever she went, furthering others' negative judgments of him. But what people did not see was that Yoriichi had a unique ability called the transparent world. This power allowed him to perceive living beings as though their bodies were transparent, seeing their internal organs, blood flow, and structure. And the reason he clung to his mother was because he saw the illness on her body. When he turned 7, he watched his brother training with a sword instructor. That was when Yoriichi finally spoke. He said he wanted to be a samurai like his brother. The instructor, amused, showed him a basic stance. Even though Yoriichi had never held a sword before, he defeated the instructor with 4 swift moves, knocking him down and then leaving his neck swollen. This was something Michikatsu had never achieved after many training sessions. Yet Yoriichi soon realized he could not stand hurting others, and he declared that he would no longer pursue the path of a samurai. Michikatsu, curious and envious, asked how his brother did it. Yoriichi explained, but Michikatsu did not understand. That explanation later became the foundation for what would be the breathing styles used by all future Demon Slayers. From that time onward, their lives inverted. Michikatsu took on the life of Yoriichi, while Yoriichi was seen as the potential future leader of the clan. But then tragedy struck, and something happened to their mother, so Yoriichi chose to leave the family, leaving behind the clan and his older twin brother. He ran tirelessly for several days until he came across a young girl named Uda near the Aminshin mountain, who had lost her entire family. Yoriichi lived with her from that moment on, and 10 years later, they married and she became pregnant with the first child. To prepare for the arrival, Yoriichi went forth to find a midwife to help with the birth. But when he returned home, he discovered someone had destroyed the life he cherished. His wife, an unborn child, had been killed. For 10 days, he held their bodies in grief, until a demon slayer who'd been pursuing a demon came to his home. That was the turning point. Yoriichi then became a demon slayer. He taught sun breathing to others, but since no one could match his form, he modified it into other forms. These new forms became known as water, wind, flame, stone, and thunder breathing, and for the first time, the Demon Slayer Corps finally had weapons capable of killing even powerful demons. Thanks to Yoriichi, that generation of demon slayers awakened the Demon Slayer mark and would later be known as the Golden Age of Demon Slayers. Years passed, and eventually Yoriichi confronted the very source of all suffering, Kibutsuji Muzan. In that moment, Yoriichi realized the reason he was born, and that is to kill the Demon King. Yoriichi entered a state called the Selfless State. In the state, he showed no emotion, no anger, no fear, no bloodlust, none at all. Meanwhile, Yoriichi perceived a terrifying malicious intent from him, like molten magma ready to extinguish all life. He declared he had no interest in swordsmen who use breathing. He transformed his arms into 2 whips filled with fangs and attacked instantly. For the first time, Yoriichi felt a chill down his spine, realizing a single scratch could kill him. But during the battle, the only attack Muzan managed to land was to make Yoriichi feel fear for the first time, and that's it. Yoriichi noticed that Muzan contained 7 hearts and 5 brains. In just a second, Yoriichi combined all his sun-breathing techniques to form the 13th form and strike all 7 hearts and 5 brains simultaneously with his bright red Nichiren blade. Muzan fell, his head struggling to keep his severed head attached. He was stunned as his body could not regenerate at all. Yoriichi's red blade completely stopped his super regeneration. Then Yoriichi asked what value life held for Muzan, who so easily destroyed others' lives as though they meant nothing. He gave no answer, simply gazing at Yoriichi with fury. Yoriichi prepared to finish him off, but Muzan exploded his body into 1,800 pieces, scattering in all directions. Yoriichi, with astonishing speed, cut 1,500 pieces, but the other 300 were too small and managed to escape. From that moment on, Muzan lived in absolute fear of one man. He avoided Yoriichi for the rest of his life, hiding and waiting for him to die of old age. His fear was so great that even the sight of Tanjiro's earrings would make him tremble. The wounds Yoriichi inflicted never healed. The scars burned Muzan at the cellular level for 400 years. That scars became a critical clue that led Tanjiro to ultimately defeat Muzan, along with Tamayo's 4-stage drug. And when in his 80s, Yoriichi encountered his twin brother, now as Kokushibo, the first Upper Moon. Kokushibo was shocked to see that Yoriichi had survived beyond 25 years old, a fate that no other demon slayers with the mark can escape. He remembered his long-held resentment, believed that Yoriichi lives with the favor of gods lavished upon him. Looking at his aged and frail brother, Kokushibo convinced himself that as a demon now, he must kill his brother. Yoriichi held his stance. Then Kokushibo felt immense pressure, like a heavy boulder was pressing on his shoulder, and the air around him was suffocating. Yoriichi announced that he would strike. Kokushibo prepared himself, but in an instant Yoriichi slashed his neck before Kokushibo could react. Memories flooded Kokushibo's mind. He believed people who never felt envy were simply lucky because they never met someone like Yoriichi, someone who burns like the sun and consumed everything around them. Kokushibo wanted to kill Yoriichi, but he knew his next attack would certainly kill him. Even at his 80s, Yoriichi's skull was as lethal as when he was 20. Yet the next strike never came. Yoriichi died, standing, still holding his sword. Neither Kokushibo, nor Muzan, nor death itself could bring him to his knees. No one ever surpassed him. Despite his immense power and legendary status, Yoriichi never got the life he dreamed of. He longed for a peaceful existence with his wife and their child, but it was never his. His brother, whom he once idolized, had become a demon, and most tragically, he failed to kill Muzan, the evil he was destined to eliminate. He feared that his failure would cause countless deaths long after his own life ended. He also never saw himself as the great swordsman, even when Michikatsu believed their generation was the strongest. He still believed that one day, a new generation would arise and surpass them. In the end, Yoriichi became a central pillar in the story of Demon Slayer. Because he failed to kill Muzan, the tale continued into the era of Tanjiro and the other protagonists. Without his guidance, the Demon Slayer Corps might never have used the breathing styles and become effective against demons.
Without his presence, Tanjiro would not have discovered the final form of sun breathing, and without tracing the scars Yoriichi left on Muzan's body, Tanjiro could not have triumphed at all and finished the story in a happy ending. Yoriichi Tsugikuni is the true monster to Muzan and all the demons, yet he is the sun that shines brightly, illuminated the path for the Demon Slayer Corps towards victory.